Hey guys, DB Roy, aka Ryan Melrose, here to continue with Chapter 3 of the Agent I story while I'm out and about. Chapter 3 The Mask of Bass Clef. And well, our story begins as a group of evil terrorists, another faction of Deckhand, led by the mysterious criminal known as the Mayor, who's only appeared a couple of times in the comics. He's pretty much wears a mime mask, doesn't talk, and yeah, he's a pretty nasty character actually. But more on him on a later date. On to the story. They have been sent to blow up the bridge along with anyone unfortunate to be on the bridge at the time. The main bridge to the city, to Frayed City. And, well, they're thwarted pretty much immediately as Agent I is pretty much there waiting for them and pretty much lays them out. Good old fate, the good guys, always one step ahead. However, Agent I wouldn't know that his next assignment would be his most challenging one and would bring him into contact with certain ghosts from his past. Well, so as he would find out the details of that mission, a singing group known as Sapphire, that's right, Sapphire, as in named after the girl lead singer of the group, who was also the foster sister of Agent I. That's right, folks. And was his squeeze in their adult life. After they freed themselves from their abusive foster parents. Anyway, they were on stage, singing some songs, performing at a charity event, which was quite successful at fundraising, I must admit, when suddenly someone took shots at the band. Now, I don't mean they dissed them. I'm talking gunfire, assassination attempt. And their bodyguards, who ended up dead, protecting them, yeah, well, let's just say the band manager decided they were going to bring fate in on this. So, you know, they could be, protected. And that is when Agent I would find out that his new assignment is to defend and protect this group. Defend and protect his ex, which he argued about doing. He did not want to do this. Protect a bunch of stuck-up celebrities, especially from the girl who broke his heart, which happened when he came home from his second tour in Afghanistan to find out that the woman he loved and was dating at the time had gotten engaged to some movie star, and that pretty much ended the relationship right then and there. However, he sort of broke things off, never spoke to her again, all that stuff, without her getting her explanation in. And needless to say, as Agent I accepted the mission along with his current partner, Agent Williams, his slightly overweight, funny, bumbling partner, well, let's just say it was crazy from the get-go. You had Agent I and Williams, who was a big fan of the singing group, by the way, having a good time while Agent I was being strict. He wouldn't let them go clubbing or partying. He wasn't even going to let them make their TV appearance that they were scheduled to do. But turns out Vincent, aka Agent I, still could not say no to Sapphire and does go along with it. And, well, it didn't take Sapphire long to work out that Agent I was really Vincent Craig, the man she loved and had full intention on marrying. And, well, when she decided to reveal she knew this information, she got his side of the story as well. And, well, Sapphire got to tell her side of it, which was, it turns out the whole engagement to a movie star thing was nothing more than a promotional tactic to promote her music as well as this guy's movies, since they were under the same management team. The whole relationship was a script. The whole movie, the whole Degamu stuff thing was a script. Nothing more, nothing less. So naturally, this has Agent I feeling a bit like a jerk. That he ended relationships with the woman he loved turns out over nothing. But hey, how's a guy supposed to know that? And well, they finally do forgive each other, and their love begins to sort of rekindle. Perhaps after this they could have a relationship and work it. She's not at all terrified by his disfigured appearance underneath that helmet. But burnt face, eyes that look like something out of a Terminator movie. No. To her, Vincent Craig, Agent I, was still the man she was in love with. And, well, Agent I then decided to begin investigating who it was who was shooting at her, trying to have a go at her. And through his investigation, using his cool eye gadgets, and of course, the Peter 9000 AI back at Fate headquarters that's linked to the helmet and helps him out, well, he was able to determine that the gun that fired, there was no person behind it pulling the trigger. It was set to go off when the band played a certain tune or a certain note. Someone who obviously knows the band very well. So this at least limited the suspects. So who was the traitor working for Deckhand and pulling this off? Now meanwhile, Deckhand has pulled the next phase of their operation into play when they steal a dirty bomb. They end up stealing a dirty bomb, and this is where Agent I becomes face-to-face with Clef. A very theatrical kind of villain, wearing a kind of suit that the Phantom of the Opera would wear, and a big bandage around her face, around the face. And, well, needless to say, as Agent I became wary of the situation, and thanks to Peter 9000's help, they were able to track the criminals with the dirty bomb, no problem. Along, again, Agent I face-to-face with Clef, no problem. They, pretty much all of Clef's men end up dead, and, well, it turns out that Clef's real target was actually Agent I all along. So when Clef threw a smoke bomb and Agent I began chasing after him, it's not all that surprising. They discover that the supposed bomb they stole was nothing more than dirt. Even if it had gone off, it might have put a bit of a hole on the road. That's about it. Nothing too damaging. And well, Agent I has Clef at gunpoint in the tunnels under the city, thinking he's got him. But as it turns out, it was Clef's trap. I don't need a weapon to beat you. My voice is a weapon. And once bass clef sings a certain note, these nasty seismic generators start going off, beginning to cause a nasty cave-in. And thanks to the Agent I's helmet's ability to slow down whatever he sees, so he views it from a faster time frame, he's able to get out of the way, no problem. Bass clef is long gone, made their escape, and Agent I was more or less lucky to survive it. He does eventually find his way out of the tunnels, plenty of other exits he can leave. After all, the idea was to crush him. And, well, yeah, needless to say, he gets out, and he makes his way back to, where the band's staying, and as it turns out, they've since moved on. Well, they haven't been moved on at all. In fact, they've been captured. Agent Williams is barely alive, breathing, with a stab wound in his stomach. And, well, before he passes out, he's able to tell Agent I one word, or particularly one name: Benson. Yes, that's right, Benson is back. And he has apparently taken the band with him. And there's a little note for Vincent, telling him exactly where he is and where he can retrieve the band. But of course, Vincent, Agent I, realizes this is another deckhand trap, and well, he's got to approach this very cautiously. So, what he actually does, he gets there way before the time it was to actually meet them, to meet Benson. And well, let's just say Agent I is seriously scoping out the place and is setting a few surprises of his own. And, well, so after he's done setting up, he goes back off in the distance, waiting for the correct time to actually meet them. He's pretending to be all huff and puff and exhausted, like he'd been traveling a long way to get back there. And where they have met, just to be clear, it's a amusement park. It's now closed for the day. And, well, Benson is there, and he's ready to take out his former partner, Vincent Crade, aka Agent I, and it is time for the Benson and Agent I match. And Benson has seriously underestimated his former partner, as he doesn't realize that the whole area has been booby-trapped. Benson is pretty much walked into a whole perimeter surrounded by explosives that are going off one after the other. He may as well stepped into an active minefield. And while this has damaged Benson's armor somewhat, he's still far from being defeated. The only visible damage really done to the armor is a piece of his helmet's been shattered. Like, there's a shot of it on the ground. You can see Benson's right eye. And, well, Benson is surprised that Vincent can now fight. Yes, he has picked up some martial arts over the years, especially fighting opponents using the slow motion feature of his helmet. This makes him able to predict and counter moves. So, while technically he doesn't really know any martial arts at all, he just can see the movements coming and can figure out how to counter them. So, this has put Benson on the losing side of this fight, and well, the fight goes on and gets a bit crazy. They're fighting on the Ferris wheel. It's switched on. It's going up and down and around, and it's also where the band's being kept too. They're locked up in one of the compartments of the Ferris wheel ride, and essentially, Agent I manages to knock Benson off the Ferris wheel and is able to rescue the band. Now, when he goes to see where Benson had landed, he's no longer there. He's gone, disappeared into the night. But he has recovered the band. And well, as Agent I and Sapphire's relationship continues to grow stronger, well, he's waiting for the AI to go over all the footage he's seen since the case has begun to see if they can get an identity on bass Clef. Now, the band has a big performance that night that's being broadcasted all over the world. And, well, as he's checking out the place where they're doing the performing, there's this big, there are these, little sort of, speaker-looking things that are all over the, stage. And the technician's explaining to him they're just, speakers that, going to allow the crowd to enjoy the show more. And well, as the show starts and begins, Agent I then gets his little alert from Peter 9000 what the identity of bass Clef is, even though the voice was muffled thanks to voice scramblers and technology like that. It turns out that the identity of bass Clef was none other than Agent I's girlfriend, Sapphire. Sapphire is the one behind this plan. And thanks to the AI taking its own liberty to scan what these devices are in the concert, they're not speakers at all. They're something to do with hypnotic suggestion and mind control. And this is being broadcasted all over the world. Yes, the dirty bomb wasn't the real plan at all. The real plan was to enslave mankind. Deck Unit wants to enslave mankind and take over the world themselves. With everyone mind controlled, they can have them do whatever it is they want. In this case, rise up against all the governments of the world, take them all out, and Deck Unit would be in charge. A very evil and nasty plan. However, thanks to this information, Agent I is immediately seeking out all these devices, and he is immediately taking them all out. The explosions are scaring everybody, and everyone's clearing out. And, well, when the, all these, devices are taken out and everyone's cleared out, the only thing left really to be seen is the band being held at gunpoint by, the mayor, the current leader of this faction of Deckhand, along with few of his guards, got the entire band hostage. Well, of course, except for Sapphire. There's no gun on her. But Sapphire's trying to plead with the man not to kill the band, and that just stop it. The whole thing is over. Agent I won. Can't we just stop this? I never wanted to do any of this anyway. And well, as Agent I can hear Sapphire's worry over her bandmates and her sudden confession that she never wanted to be part of any of this anyway, that she was more or less forced to. Well, Agent I's decision was made, and basically Agent I springs into action, and he is more or less going after the guys. And well, if you're worried about whether the bandmates are going to get shot because of this, well, no need to worried about that. 'Cause before Agent I sprung in the action, he threw a smoke pellet at the same time, enough to cover the band's escape. They were able to slip through and pretty much get out of there, and Agent I, who could still see perfectly, was easily able to take out the mayor's men. And then finally, it was pretty much down to the mayor and Agent I, and the mayor decides to fire his shot at Sapphire. And well, even with Agent I's slow motion ability, he couldn't get in front of the shot in time to stop it from hitting Sapphire. And by the time he turned to try to get a revenge shot at the mayor, he's gone. And needless to say, Agent I is sad and ashamed of himself that he couldn't get there in time. He couldn't protect the woman he loves, and there she was, dying in his arms. An ambulance ride later, they get to the hospital. They do manage to get the bullet out of her, but at this point she has lost too much blood, and she pretty much dies. Able to before death, she tells Agent I that she loved him and will always love him. Agent I processes this, leaves the building, and well, this is where a sort of miracle happens, as a mysterious figure suddenly appears in the room. Agent I is currently outside of it, and this figure, grey face, purple visor, yellow eyes, a certain red hat, and a collared red Dracula-like cape, looks down to her, and as his eyes glow and a yellow aura surrounds the figure, he manages to heal her wound and bring her back from the brink of death. Agent I sees the glowing coming from the room and bursts in to find that Sapphire is alive and well. He looks out the window to see this masked red cape figure flying on the outside, and then teleports away. And that concludes this chapter of the story. So I hope you guys are enjoying that, enjoying chapter 3. Hope you enjoyed the surprise appearance of Sorrow at the end of the story. And well, I hope you guys will be looking forward to chapter 4.